Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Armored Warfare replay. This is me, Zix the Terrible, once again, and today we are playing the T-80 in a PvE matchup. Now, this is one of my first games I had in the PvE, and this was one of my first games I had in the T-80. It's not particularly special, but I did want to highlight it for you to show some of the strengths and weaknesses of the T-80 that I think that might improve your gameplay. If not, just give you some comedic purposes of seeing me fail miserably firing the wrong ammunition at the wrong target. Like here, where I fire a heat munition at the rear of a BMP T-72. But let's just see how we can get through this. Now taking some shots at the Leopard 2 there. One of the weaknesses of the T-80 was with all Russian tanks is very poor gun depression, so that's something that we're gonna have to work on, compensate for. Backing up, trying to reposition myself, keep my hull at the front at all times. Lining up, looking for that green light. Ended up aiming up behind it, where the ammo storage is, but didn't take the shot because it wasn't a very good shot. And I started to move forward and see if I can't get some shots on this side where the hull armor isn't as strong. Get a nice damage roll there. Again, back up and moving. There's a T-90 right there. Weak spot with all Russian tanks, if you must know, is the lower glacis, or the toe plate, if you will. Aim down there and you will most likely go through, depending on your tier, of course, and the penetration of your gun. But it's a generic weak spot where both heat and APDS munitions seem to have the most effect if they're facing the front at you. Just a little tip for all. Taking a battering here though with all these tanks, with the auto cannons lighting me up. But just keep a cool head, taking down targets one by one. With the help of my friend in the Challenger here, we are going to hopefully get rid of all these enemies. Letting you know, this is also a post-game replay, not live like you're used to, so that's a plus. That's the first time for this channel. Ram this light tank, because to hell with light tanks. Little bastards. Shot at the T-70, the BMPT Terminator. Didn't kill it. Come right behind it, where there's no, it's not as well armored, and heat munitions will do max damage. Although he didn't have enough health for me to do max damage, which is a bummer. Here we have a Stingray. Side shots and good shot. Move forward. You see our friends are coming in. There's a tank to our left, but you can't shoot at him, so we finish off the Stingray. Move forward towards the cap, going underneath this bridge here. So looking for targets. Just looking at my recorded damage, trying to see how I am relative to the team. Embarrassed because that Challenger is beating me in terms of damage. How dare he? And this we run into a expeditionary tank, keeping in front of at all times. The BMPT, not the BMTT, the T-80, ironically has worse armor than the T-72A, but it's still very effective because of the sloping and it's composite, so it's not that bad. But you do have to keep your front, as with all main battle tanks, or with all tanks at least, keep your front pointed at the enemies at all times, because your side armor just isn't going to do it. The only exception to this rule would be the Challenger series of tanks. But I'm not a Challenger now, am I? Moving up forward further. Most of you will probably have noticed that I'm not packing any resupply consumables, so that's a rookie mistake. But I have to say, so far, looking for shots on the artillery there. Can't get it, so ignore him. Move up to get around this house to fire at the rear of that Terminator. Come around, put one right into the crewless turret there, the fire control system, and get the kill. Still loaded with heat. Looking for some soft skin targets, light tanks possibly. And crash into the rock. Who put that rock there? Moving up to also take out the secondary objective, but we run into this Leopard 2 AV. And I dunk a shot right there. It should have gone through, but it didn't. Because you can see, as you see there, that's a weak spot on the Leopard 2 AV. Heat will go through it. So I ended up switching up to AP because I want to kill him as fast as possible. I don't want to have to worry about which ammunition I'm using, where it may or may not penetrate. You can see the hole right there where my first shot went through. Just get a little face-to-face with him, so that he can't hit my lower glacis, which means I'm about as well protected as I'm going to be, and get the kill. So we move back down. I have AP loaded. No, I have heat loaded, and I want to get rid of this heat, and so wait, no, my bad. I have which is an APDS to help take care of this Abrams, but the Challenger's already done a number on him. And then we hit the BMPT-72. Not to be confused with the BMPT Terminator, because the BMPT Terminator is a modified T-72 chassis, while the BMPT-72 is a T-72 chassis with their turret removed. And it looks like we got those. Nope, this comes a T-90 MS. Those are dangerous because they have a really powerful gun. Same gun as the T-80. Actually, not the same gun, but it's the same caliber as the one on the T-80, but it's more advanced, so it fires a more powerful munition. But they're firing HE, so I get away with it being this close. The HE spam is ridiculous in PvE, but I'm still alive. He's not. Looking for a shot on that target there, but can't get it, so reposition. Letting the team know right here that I'm gonna be triggering the cap because we're running out of time and we really need to get on the cap so that we can complete this objective within a timely manner. That's a little tip for other people playing PvE, especially on hard difficulties. Always let your teammates know what you're doing, who you're shooting at, and if they're ready to trigger the cap. Because if you don't, you're a dick. You see there, I was getting shot in the ass there for a second. Lucky weapon of the Challenger had my back, took him out, and now we're repositioning, trying to get some shots on those enemies on the other side of that bridge. Can't really get it, so I mount up here, looking for shots, but I can't get it. Let the Challenger there. Then I can see that I have minimal line of sight, just waiting for him to pop back into view. Back up a bit, trying to make sure my lower plate isn't exposed in case he tries to take a lucky shot at me. Don't get it. I was about to move out of position, but I see that I have a shot now. Line it up, and get a good hit. Now I'm loading APDS to hit that T-90 MS. That the Challenger is engaging, trying to offer as much support as I can, staying in the cap because I want to make sure that we can finish this objective and not, be defeated just because we ran out of time. That'd be embarrassing. And I get ripped off with that shot there where there's tracks eat it when it should have gone through. I mean, it's the side of a T-90. It's not that tough. But I end up getting the kill anyway. So it all comes out good. Looking at the scores once again, look how much damage I did compared relative to the other team members. And I'm still behind that Challenger, which is pathetic. In my case, not his. He was a good player. And this was one of the first games I had with the T-80. Now that we're here, capping the last bit here on this map, and Operation Harbinger, in case you couldn't tell, this is Operation Harbinger, and this is about it. First impressions on the T-80, I would have to say, I really do like this tank, even though the real one wasn't as good with that gas turbine engine, but fun tank, enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, some of the weak spots, it's gun depression and the toe plate. The toe plate is vulnerable and it doesn't have very good gun depression, so oftentimes when you're cresting ridges, you're gonna be overexposing your toe plate, and so that's one thing to keep in mind. If you can cover up that toe plate, however, the T-80 is just a devastating tank to go up against, and it's just so much fun to use. It's also more complicated to use than, say, the Challenger, mainly because the ammunition that you fire, you have such a variety of ammunition. You see in this match I was only using APDS and heat munitions, but it also has the T-90. The T-80 also comes with ATGMs. I wasn't using any because I haven't unlocked it. This was a completely stock T-80 replay, but as you can see, you can make effective use. If you make effective use of the ammunition that comes with these tanks, you can have some breathtaking damage potentials. You can do upwards of 15,000 damage per PvE matchup. So keep in mind, just be hyper aware of the ammunition you're firing. You can't religiously fire one. Here's some post-game results. Got over 100,000 credits for that because it was during the 4 times EXP, I believe, going on at this time. And, second on the team, but not too bad considering one of my first games, like I said, one of my first games in the T80. And thank you. I'll see you guys next time.